Welcome to Meet the Shoe Shackle History Unleashed. Today we are going to talk about the unfortunate shooting that happened in Louisville at the Louisville Bank downtown bank. Um, it's disturbing to see this. It's constantly going on. I mean, it seems like every week it's a shooting. Something's going on. I mean, it's just depressing.
Hmm.
It's like you don't want to. I mean, what? Why would you get to a point that you have to go harm a bunch of people for what? I mean, is it that serious? Why are we so? We taking everything like we wear our
Personal.
heart on our sleeve.
Yeah, all the emotion.
It's just emotional, very sensitive to words lately. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Yes.
say nothing without people getting offended, and it's sad.
Yeah.
Even with texting, I noticed. You could be saying something that's truthful, but you saying it, you're not saying it to be mean or anything. You just texting that person saying, "This is what I see, da 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 da. This is what you're doing, da da da." It
Right.
got me upset. I'm like, "What you getting upset
Yeah.
for?" I mean, I would tell you that it wouldn't be a high tone of being mean or anything if I'm saying this to you in your face. So why would you take it, very negative?
Hmm.
Some people don't even know how to take bad criticism.
Right. And I didn't even know in this new world of speaking of texting, that's a good point that you made. I didn't even realize that capital letters means cussing you out.
Yes. Now,
Means screaming and yelling. I didn't realize that and that people get really defensive and get to uh going into a childlike state
right.
when you talk in a text message with capital letters.
And I noticed the capital letters because remember we take typing classes back in the day. They said cap letters were offensive, yelling.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
said I took typing class. They never told me that.
Hmm.
They never said that. I mean, then I could understand it. So just going into a tech world now and trying to adapt, it takes a long time for people. They, the millennials think like, oh, y'all's old. You old people don't know nothing. No, just like we adapt to hip hop music like that, it was just natural nature.
Yep.
That's how it is with the younger generation. They got social media to the T because it came
And
during their time.
yes.
That how they feel about social media is how we feel about hip hop and rap music because
Exactly.
it came at our time and we know the meaning of it when it first started, right?
Exactly.
So we're on the same wavelength when it comes to that understanding. But the sensitivity of it about the people getting going first to attack,
Hmm.
like with this guy going into the bank to attack the people, and they were
Hmm.
previous. He was a previous employee,
Yes, his
right?
name is Connor Sturgeon. 25 years old. He's young, and I feel he's in that kind of generation that is sensitive and emotional nowadays. It's like you can't get them any direction or tell them anything because you can't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing, type manner, attitude.
Right,
That's that
right.
pretty much that generation kind of is, lately. And I see that sometime in my kids, I'm like,
Hmm.
they know more than me. And I'm like, honey, the world is round. This stuff didn't happen
Right,
before y'all wasn't born. So history repeats itself, remember? You know what I'm saying? But
right,
they think
right,
they know it. I don't know nothing. So I'm like,
right.
okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, that's y'all. Y'all learn when you get my age, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, his name was Connor Sturgeon, and he looked like 4 victims in the bank
Hmm.
that was on his floor. So it was personal, whatever he did. And there were older people. Tommy Elliott was 63, Joshua Barrett was 40,
Hmm.
James Jim Toot was 64, and Juliana Farmer is 57.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. And they have
And
some bad.
every day that we get up to get out in this world and work and do what we need to do to survive, take care of our families, take care of ourselves, right?
Exactly.
Um, we never wake up to think that we're not going to make it home.
Right.
Especially we think, oh, I'm going to work. I'm not in the way of nothing. I'm not out at a club, because where our mind is programmed to think, oh, I'm not outside doing anything, so nothing should happen. Nothing's going to happen to me because I'm at home.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. A lot of people get killed at home.
Yeah.
A lot of people get killed at work now.
Yes.
Work-related injuries and murder was so uncommon in the 90s, and even still in the early 2000s and back. Now, 2010 up until 2013, so common
But you
for
know
you
what?
to go.
But it's common because of social media. Everybody has their cameras out. That's why it's common. I mean, it's noticeable. It's always been some murders going on in the world. Remember, they used to
No,
always say,
no, no, no. I'm saying at work.
"Oh,
You
at
heard
work."
of
Oh, no,
I'm talking about at work.
no,
You
not really.
very seldom heard murder at work.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless someone pulled into the parking lot, things like that. That's always happened, right? That's happened often
Yeah,
enough to where you'd be like, you know, but
yeah,
but more lately in the past 10, 15 years, it's very common that even right now I'm in a parking lot of grocery store, strip mall.
right.
It's more common right here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Notice, yeah,
it's very
lately.
common right in this, high traffic area. And back in the day, people would be scared to do things in high traffic areas. They
Yeah.
wait. It's always in the dark. It's always on the low. They
Exactly.
don't want no kids to be around now. They don't care about kids. They don't care about
No,
grandma. There's no lid on anything anymore.
no,
A
no.
lot of the times, everybody's saying it has a lot to do with taking the prayer out of church. I mean, excuse me, taking the prayer out of school,
Right.
taking the discipline away. There's no strictness anymore.
That's not.
Everything can be fought. Everybody can be sued. People are more concerned about suing than they are the concern of the health of human beings. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh,
That's what the
yeah.
problem is starting to be. And it's like, where are you supposed to look and turn?
Exactly. Oh my God.
Where is there to
No,
go?
I don't get it, but he did leave a note to his parents.
Okay.
He said he live streamed the whole shooting on
Wow.
Instagram and left a note to his parents saying he was going to shoot up the bank. So I'm assuming he must be living with his parents at the time. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, that explains a whole lot right
I'm like,
there.
what
That
is going
explains a
on?
lot.
Yeah.
That explains a lot. You're not even responsible. You're still in the house. And not to say that, anything against people that's still at home with their parents, but there's something going on there that you felt that you needed to explain
Yeah.
to your parents
Yep.
as if that was okay. Now you left all that mess here for the parents mentally to have to deal with that,
Right.
and you're gone. You knew you
Yeah.
was gone. You self-sabotaged and suicide yourself when you left. That's the
And
selfishness of kids nowadays and adults nowadays, not kids, adults, the younger adults, that they're selfish, that the
yeah, they are.
parents, all the stuff that the parents do to raise these kids, and even if not, say there's the people that they didn't have a good life, whatever, okay. But there's someone that cares about you and has done something for you. You leave all that burden on them.
And
You,
they don't understand. You may be hurting somebody physically. You have a victim, but
yeah,
there's victims in your community too. There's the victim
exactly.
of the person, children, family.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Your family is victims because of what you sending them through, even if you get killed
exactly.
or you are going to prison. Your
Yeah,
family are victims as well because they gotta sit
yeah,
there with you and do all this time. They gotta sit there, go through all the emotions, everything that you got going on. They gotta sit there if you're in jail, they gotta write you, come see you, bring your kids. It's trauma for everyone. And
yeah,
for the doctor they were bringing all the bodies, everybody that was shot and victims to the hospital. The doctor had to do a press conference. He said, this don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? He said, it's hard for me to see all these people victims and to come out and see their children crying and come and tell them they're not going to make it. It hurts my heart. You know what I'm saying? The whole team was just in tears. And I'm like, just sitting there crying. I'm like, this don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Even the doctors, the nurses is going through something too.
Yeah. The police are even exhausted with even having to, I mean, the police ran up in there immediately, just like with the transgender that killed those babies down in Texas. The police rushed in there to assist the citizens that are, the victims of the people that are in there. And it's like, what are you gonna do? Well, there's just everybody is looking to kill and die.
Yeah.
What is the world constantly producing that you want to just die? Like, that's what it's looking like. There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to turn. You have all of these laws. It's like I was listening to this podcast and this guy was like, it's 100 people that run the world, United States, right?
Right.
And that's true. Congress, 100 people. And we allow 100 people to make all these decisions that are destroying every single thing in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some point, what are they going to do with, you just going to kill up everybody and they start running and rushing towards attacking you? Because at looking at how the people attacked the White House on January 6th, that's never happened.
No, you would never think of. That's authority. You never think about doing anything like that, and I still wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a pillar of our nation. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just think that there has to be some type of solution as a collective of the country to come together to change all of the school shootings, constant fight, like all the emotion, the emotional state of all these people that are constantly running up on people to shoot. You hear constantly hearing about even clubs and gatherings getting shot up and husbands killing their wives and the wives killing their husbands too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's so short fused.
Yeah.
I'm short fused, mad and upset, and they just don't.
I mean, because they feel as though they don't have anything to look forward to. Seriously.
Possibly. Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't have anything to look forward to, of course you want something. Of course you want everything to end. You don't mind everything ending, you know?
Yes.
You won't care about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you won't. Not at all. But yeah. So rest in peace to
all of the victims. So it's the 5, right?
Yeah, because one of them was a cop. He was the first one to run into, confront the shooter, and he got shot in the head.
Right.
Another one got grazed. Another cop got grazed. I think he's okay right now.
He's okay. Okay.
But
looks like Nashville has a problem. Yeah, the Tennessee lawmaker Justin Jones.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so him and his colleagues, it was 3 of them, one woman, Black Democrat Justin Pearson.
Yes,
lost their seats. Yeah, he lost the seat. Charged with legislative session after calling for gun reform during a protest on Chambers floor. A third Democrat who had joined, Representative Gloria Johnson, a white woman.
Okay.
narrowly avoided explosion during Thursday's House session.
Mm,
Jones returned to the House floor to cheers. His fellow Democrat Representative Antonio Parkinson introduced him into the session as our newest member.
okay.
So basically, they're upset because they're fighting gun control,
Mm-hmm.
and they stood up against the NRA.
Yep. And
And when they
Republican.
stood up against the NRA, they cut their mics off. When they were
Mm-hmm.
arguing about not saying his argument, Justin's argument was, we're not saying take away guns.
Right.
We're not saying that there shouldn't be any AR-14s, I guess, right?
Yes.
What he's saying is, why should an 18-year-old have one?
Right.
Why should it be legal for even a 18-year-old or a 21-year-old to have
The
a
AR.
weapon, just something of that magnitude,
Mm-hmm.
just randomly at their home?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right?
That makes
What
sense.
is the purpose? What are they preparing for?
Mm-hmm.
Those type of weapons are prepared for war.
Yeah.
And so when you purchase those and there's no monitoring, right? When you don't have nobody monitoring that you purchased a weapon of the sort, how do we know that an attack is going to come?
Exactly.
What are you doing to prevent these attacks? You're making it free for all. That's his argument. And so there was another woman that was questioning him,
Mm-hmm.
um Tangi, I think her name is. She's the representation for the people of like prison reform and um Democratic Party of like the black vote and things like that. And she was asking him, don't just talk about helping black people when it benefits you, because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they're thinking, like, oh, you're wearing the afro. They're saying this to Justin. Oh, you're wearing the afro and the dashiki and all that to represent just to get the black vote, because you're talking about helping white people as well. And his thing was, white people are losing family members in
Mm-hmm.
these school shootings, and are losing people as well.
Right.
It's first of all, he said, let me get this clear. It's about saving black lives first.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're all suffering.
Yeah,
Everybody's
we are.
suffering when it
Yes.
comes to guns
Yes. Yes, it is.
and and
Everyone.
and, and people losing their lives. So how are we gonna come together and not come up with a solution to prevent what's going on? Because they were upset that Biden said that there's nothing that he can do because it's up to Congress. How is there nothing you can do and you're the president? How is
He
there nothing you can do? And then y'all expelled Gloria, Justin, and Antonio.
mm-hmm.
You expelled them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I think they got
Because of
expelled April 6th. April 6th, they got expelled, right?
okay, and so I don't know the date. I'm just saying they got expelled, and from my understanding, there wasn't a valid reason. It's never happened
No.
before.
Mm-mm. No. The
So
Republicans did that.
the Republicans did it. Why are the Republicans still? They're so blatantly racist, white men. And it's
Mm-hmm.
always the white men, and the women got to follow behind what they
Yeah.
say. Why are they still allowing this to happen, like over and over?
I think
And they
Tennessee
have
is
done nothing to change anything in the world in a positive light.
no. Everyone seems to have their own on their own self-righteous pedestal. They think they know what's right for their states or the United States for that matter. Um, it's unfortunate that their views are kind of not, it's just one tunnel vision viewpoint. It's not uh different. They're not accepting different viewpoints from other people. It's just their tunnel vision. and it's
Right.
individualized. You know, they might grab a couple people to camaraderie with them, and then they that's their vision, and they sticking to it. And it's sad.
Yeah, they
It's
say
sad. And
the
they're
the
older people too. They're in that old way of thinking.
yeah,
Like the
they're in
world
that
has
race
evolved.
way. Everybody keeps saying old way, but they're in that racist way of thinking.
Yes,
They're not
old
ready.
done.
They're scared of change. They know they're wrong. They know what we're owed. They know that they've ate and lived
Mhm,
that all these hundreds of years off of our backs and our ancestors' backs and off of
mhm.
our backs still. They've
But they don't want to
benefited.
recognize that though.
They're never gonna recognize that. I mean, like it's just is what it is. And now it's like slowly God is showing them it's blowing up in their face. All
Yeah.
these school shootings, and we have to be. We are gonna suffer in the whole mess of it. We're gonna suffer in the mess of it. But now it's coming right to their door. It's
Hmm.
going up in the White House. It's going up in their schools. It's going up in their churches. It's going up in there just like it is in ours.
Right. Hmm. Hmm.
It says that they believe that the expulsion of the state representative Justin Pearson was conducted in a hasty manner without consideration of other corrective actions or methods,
Mm.
Laurie said in a statement.
Wow. Well,
So,
he's back in. They're back in, both Justins. So
yeah,
they're going to work like they've been working for just, being the activist, social justice. And we commend his efforts, his work. He's been
yeah.
trailblazing. So we
He
need more
said
people in the state.
he says that he ultimately got into it because he lost both of his grandmothers from cancer,
Oh.
and because of neglect of elderly people, not
Mm-hmm.
just black. He
Oh,
said
okay.
white people too. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what he explained. He said, I don't want the elderly to be forgotten about.
Right.
The elderly need to be out in the community, work. You don't just sit up in the house and just not do nothing just because you're old. You don't
Right.
got to just sit there and not be active because you're old. Where did that, like, why
Yeah.
is that? You know,
Yeah.
why do they think that and get comfortable with that's why they're having all these health issues, a lot of them because they're not
Exactly.
active.
Exactly.
You more or less see a lot of older people now walking and
Yes.
getting
Trying to
into it
get out
because they're starting to know that now. You don't sit around and just sit in the house and watch soap operas all day
all
and the
day.
game
Right.
shows and crosswords and that's the old
Hmm.
way of thinking, because it's
Yes.
not of a benefit anymore.
I um I didn't know he was Filipino and black.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So I was
saw
wondering
that.
why
I
nice
thought
hair
that he
came.
was native, but
They
Filipino.
said
Yep,
Filipino. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So hey, that's commend him. He's
yeah.
doing good work.
The last issue to touch on is the Dalai Lama.
Oh my Dalai Lama. You know,
Yeah,
well, Cardi B went in on him, and
right.
she's not backpedaling. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? They should not be touching these kids like that, and that's true. You don't
Why
have
would
no
you?
right
Why would you
to kiss the kid
say
in the mouth or kiss
suck
my tongue,
my
suck my tongue.
tongue?
Right? That's inappropriate. That's very inappropriate. I don't get it.
That kid was so uncomfortable.
Oh
That kid will never forget that for the rest of
no.
his life.
No, he won't because the social media sure not gonna let him forget it because that picture is gonna circle all around the world for years.
I
So
don't.
it's
This
sad.
is one thing that I don't understand about just just anything to do with disrespecting kids as a whole, especially when it comes to anything sexual, right?
Hmm.
There's always excuses about it.
It is. Yeah.
And then it's like you always sit and say stuff like, "Oh, in the Christian church and they're always in the Catholic church. They're always all up in those churches. They're always messing with kids. Why is that? That doesn't even sound right. I just
No, it
hear
shouldn't be like
over the
that.
years people saying that. You know what I'm saying? And that should never be accepted.
No, it's not. It shouldn't. No,
Like,
not at all.
I don't get that. Why are they attacking kids though? Like, you can't even defend yourself.
No,
Why is that even an attraction?
something in their messed up minds. Their minds is still of a child nature or sort, and they feel like, hey, they just a grown body in a child head. Girl, it's sad.
Yeah, very disrespectful. Well, thank you for tuning in to
Yes,
another
thank you
episode of Meet
guys.
the Shoe.
See you
See you Friday.
Friday.